Hello, everybody. Welcome back to more Minecraft. Wholesome boy with the wholesome boys. Wholesome boyos build the brewery. Maybe actually some serious progress, though. Right?
Soon. Yeah.
What are you guys doing in this episode? You were talking about doing something relating to the actual process. Oh my God, that's a skeleton. Okay. What are you guys doing, Rhapsody or Alexa?
Oh, help me. Oh,
Alexa, I'll let you answer first because effectively all I'm doing is being your understudy in what you're doing now.
That's fair. Raps and I are going to mine all of the dirt off of this layer of what will be a tree farm in the future. And then we're going to hook that up to automatically produce charcoal to pump it into our matrix system to keep the quarry alive and fresh and going 24/7.
All right.
What are you going to be doing?
I don't know. We're catching wither skeletons, but I don't
Nice.
entirely know why.
We should
do
a wither.
I fancied do a wither. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's.
We should absolutely fight a wither. That would be a very fun thing to do in the series.
I mean, I feel like we probably could actually, given our overpowered kit.
Yeah.
Present.
I would do it pretty far away from chat, but
Oh, watch out, Rito! Rito, on your 6.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Right.
My
Just
6.
Yeah, your 6.
I haven't had to look at
That's
a
your
clock like
6.
that in years.
You.
all right, Raps.
Tell me in digital.
I'm gonna make more stone brick.
1800.
Here's the farm blocks
Yep.
and the various things. You're gonna want to do one more layer of 9 of the farm blocks underneath these,
Got it.
and then 6 of them, and then those 3 blocks. So it's just a 4x3x3.
Okay.
Coming back.
Oh yeah, by the way, I should have explained to everyone that we're not actually hunting in the wither for anything of substance. I just wanted a second tier lasso. I don't.
What does the second tier lasso do?
I don't know. That's why I wanted it.
I think it might capture I think it might capture enemies also.
I was kind of hoping that it would capture Rhapsodies, so I could just keep Rhapsody
That
inside a
would
lasso
be
for an entire
the
episode.
ultimate police tool.
Police tool. You want to kill a blaze?
Okay. I'll blaze it.
All right.
Oh, well, if you want to hang out with me, you don't need a lasso.
No, I need a cursed lasso. That's why I'm in.
Exactly. Cursed lasso.
Yeah, did you hear him correctly?
we should list it. That's good. I can't get back up there.
Yeah. Into fire. That's right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I did it all with an iron sword as well, which is.
Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys. I'm dealing with the
Alright.
bad boy.
What did you get from killing the last wither, by the way, Rito? Anything of good?
I got his head, and that's about it.
Oh, that's good. That's what we need
Yeah,
to fight
we
the big
need
wither, right?
3. Yeah, we need 3 of their heads to fight the big guy.
The wither skeleton
Alright.
skull?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the one.
Well, I imagine that my sword is probably really good at getting their heads, since it decapitates.
Oh. The plot.
I thought it. I just took his skull and put it on my skull because that's just what I do with all the enemies. I didn't realize it was a special. I didn't realize it was a special thing. See, look at me.
Yeah,
I'm him. I've stolen his identity.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go to the bank later and try to take a lot of money from his account.
All right. I don't really know where we're going, but you know, with you, I'm confident we can find the right direction.
Okay.
We need to find, we need to get to the top of the other big wither structure, nether structure. What's it called? Castle? Nether
Fortress,
castle?
but close enough.
The fortress.
All right.
All right, Raps.
Nudie foodie.
Just
So
dirt on the
we-
top layer?
Yeah, it's gonna be dirt on the top layer, but I want to show you real quick.
Sure.
This. So here's this, and here's this. If you right-click the soldering iron, then you can put the circuit into it. and then you have to put those
What you doing down there?
tubes in for whatever it is. So we want a managed farm, and we want an arboretum. So that means that we need golden electron tubes.
Hey, what you doing down there, Vito?
So we want each one of those slots in that thing represents a quadrant of this. You can actually have up to 4
Here.
different things in it at once. But we just want like all tree because that's what we want. So we will
Careful.
in fact I think they're actually these by default. So we might not even need to do that.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's lay the dirt down.
Let me do it.
and-
Let me do it. Let me do
Okay.
it.
Don't risk the head. Like, don't let it fall off.
Yeah. Let me do it though. I think I have probably have a higher chance. Than I said.
Some really good sound effects there.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the new Wilhelm screen there.
Kaiser Wilhelm?
Are you not familiar with the
I
Wilhelm
lost
screen,
him.
Orbital?
Oh, this is the one that's in all of the movies. All of
Yes.
The
It honestly, it does seem like the piece of esoterica that you would definitely be familiar with, which is why I was surprised.
Sorry, I thought you said Wilhelm, like the Kaiser, the last, whatever it is,
It is, isn't it?
Emperor of Germany. Is that how it is? I didn't realize it was the same term.
I'm almost certain.
All right. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm glad. I'm not, but I'm glad you are. Just to make that abundantly clear to absolutely everyone out there.
I have no idea what you just said.
I'm glad I'm not, but you are. That has big. Who do you think I am? You are energy.
All right, Raps.
Oh, sorry. Who do you think you are? I am. Sorry.
We gotta pump water into this thing
Mm-hmm.
and energy into this thing. We can probably, like, we have water flowing around here.
We do, but also like there's a massive wires underneath there. The power, like literally the power grid is on the other side of it, so you could easily run a line from that into it and just build another fluid transposer.
I think I'm going to attempt to run water from this because I don't want to make another one because I'm lazy.
Sure.
So if you want to connect the flux ducts up to give it power, you just got to run them into the gearbox. I'll make more fluid ducts and we'll do that.
Flux ducts into the gearbox. Got it.
I love how we're just taking turns, the 4 of us in our 2 separate missions with the conversations.
Yeah.
Really good.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think I have a conversation that will unite us. Okay. All right. Properly. So
I'm excited.
I don't want to brag, but today I went to get my hair cut. Okay.
Oh,
You can
Big
brag
guy
about
on
it. It's
campus.
okay. You can
Bragging.
brag about that.
look at this guy.
And I wanna know, right?
Hmm.
What's the worst experience that you've had in a hairdressing salon, in a barber shop?
Mm-hmm.
And also, how much would you be willing to spend on a haircut?
I'm gonna go last because I don't know if I have an exciting.
I'm gonna go
I will
first so I don't have to
accept.
follow anyone up because I also don't have a really exciting one. The worst experience that I had is I wear a fake part slightly to the left of my actual part because I have a cowlick on my fringe. Barbers in the audience like, oh, technical terms, perfect. This is what we were looking for. And one of them didn't understand that, and I ended up with a cut that just made me look half bald the entire time. It was like the worst undercut of all time. Yep, told you it wasn't an interesting story, but I would pay up to like 60. There are a lot of kind of wait. Okay, so I used to be like a $15 student deal at Just Cuts kind of guy, right? But the first time I got like an actually decently expensive haircut, it was at a salon in an area that I used to live in. I've since moved away from. That's known as like a very primarily hipster kind of area of Sydney. Shock and awe. Very surprised that I would have lived there. I understand. But the first time that I got it, it was incredible. It was the best that my hair had ever looked. And they had a dog in the place, and they just gave me beer while I was getting a haircut. And the dog came over, and I got to pat the dog, and I talked to the owner about WWE, and it was really, really like it was a fun experience as opposed to every other experience in a hairdresser's I've had where I'm like, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me. So what do you do for work?
Please, I don't
can't
wanna talk about
explain
what
that
you
to
do,
you.
And then you got out of it, and they went, that'll be $60.
$60.
Yeah, and as far as I was like to me that
I mean,
was like I got a friend. I hired a friend for an hour, and it worked out
I
well
would pay
for me.
60 for that. Yeah, I'd pay 60 for that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
special.
I honestly,
I wouldn't do
after
it
hearing
often.
that, I'm not against it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
wouldn't do
really
it
good
often.
bedside manner, or whatever the whatever the version of that
Orbital
is for
beside
barbers.
himself right now.
I mean, wait, okay. I don't know. I wouldn't pay that. I wouldn't pay them. I would do that like once or twice to have that experience. Once or twice. But I mean, like, I don't know. I want 20 something usually.
20
with the-
something? Jeez,
20,
Louis. No,
20
sorry.
with 20 with a tip. 20 with a tip.
Do you tip? Do you tip
Oh,
your
yeah.
hairdresser?
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
have to in
really?
America.
You
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
Is I guess it's like a service
Service.
job.
It's like-
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
20 with
Um,
a tip. Yeah.
Alexa,
is my average.
I know
Yes.
you're working hard to get the water running out there, but we
Oh, there's a freaking one right there. It's already connected though, so. Okay.
I'm also going to need your guidance on this whole leadstone flux duct thing because I don't know where the things.
So anywhere over here, we just line it up with that.
Okay.
Like we if you just run it straight down from here, that's good enough.
Got it.
So I will say, most I've paid for a haircut was 35. Q orbital. 35.
Under what circumstances? What was this?
Under duress?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
that was what I was about to.
It was.
Was it for a special occasion? Was it for a special occasion?
Sure. And then now I pay. It's like 20, and then another 5 for a
Where's
tip.
my partner? Sorry.
Because
Sorry.
I just
my
go to
God.
a girl I went to high school with.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
So it's like I get to have a nice little conversation, and then my hair looks, good enough.
Actually,
I also have a terrible colic in my hair, which makes me like, it's like I almost have to wear my hair longer than normal to ever have it look good. My hair, so like this is inside baseball. You all have like likely seen me
Hair.
on stream
Okay.
at this point.
Okay.
Yep.
My hair is like still long, but I used to like, it used to be if I straightened my bangs, it would hit my mouth levels along. Like I had full on like, if my hair wasn't pinned straight, it was afro levels of big.
Wow.
Now I do not do that, but the colic is really annoying. I hate the super long hair now. So. Gearbox is on the other side, refs.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I didn't know where I actually had to run it into.
You know what? Here, ready.
Oh yeah, you can just swap them around, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll just move them to here instead.
Have you gotten another head orbital?
I
Before you-
don't know where I died. I can't work. Are you
hatch?
in? Are you? Do you know where you are? I sure as heck do not.
I mean, I'm
Do you
no.
have
I
the gearbox
just,
reps? Oh no, it's still on the
No.
ground over here. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
Here we go.
I see.
Got him.
Found you.
Perfect.
I'm nowhere near any other skeletons. Though.
And then
Oh.
It's connected. It's
grow
got
by any
fertilizer.
chance?
The managed arboretum. So what am I doing with this soldering iron?
Where are you?
So I'm not sure you have to do anything with it right now. We need to
Sweet.
get some saplings and just toss them in here and see what happens. Because it might just work. I think that by default these farms are tree farms, so you might not have to do anything. But if this doesn't work, then we're gonna have to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll show you.
Cool. Well, I'm also gonna have to ask you to show me regardless for the setting up of the future farms.
Yeah,
Yes.
Where's my partner?
that's fine.
I'm here.
Sorry.
I'm right behind you. You
Sorry,
jerk.
I'm just. I was just copying what you said.
You realize
before.
that your sword is at least 3 times bigger than mine.
It's about how you use it.
All right, I'm gonna say we're gonna have to set it up, perhaps, because this didn't do anything.
Mhm.
I'm coming for you.
So in the soldering iron,
Right.
See if you
got
drop
to
the skull.
there's 4 spaces for you to put things, right?
Yes.
TP to me.
Those are each
I
a
gotta get-
quadrant of this thing.
Yeah, the thing on the inside that has the north, south, east, west. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Cool.
So then and you literally have to look on the wiki for it, which is stupid. That's why I sent that in the group chat that we're in right now.
Right.
But we want managed farms because they just make it for us, and we don't have to do any work. So for an arboretum managed farm, you put gold electron tubes into those 4 spots. If we wanted a carrot and potato farm, then we would do iron electron tubes.
Oh, come back. Come back.
The
Rito.
wheat farm that we have
Over
was
here.
bronze electron tubes.
Okay. So when you said
And then-
managed farm, did you mean automatic?
Yeah, they call it managed.
Okay.
They have managed and manual, or what they call them. Manual means that we place the dirt down ourselves. Wait a minute, we just did that. So maybe we might have to dig up all this dirt. That might be the issue. Wait a minute.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, that was definitely
yep.
the issue.
Neat.
Okay. Well,
I guess I'm happy that was it.
yeah.
Although now we have to figure out where the
basically
edges
we
are.
just need we need actual dirt. This
Over-
dirt doesn't work.
over
We can
here.
keep it down, it'll dig
yeah.
it out, but we need not silty dirt.
I'll bridge.
We need that fresh stuff.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've got like a stack and a half of it. And I should just do it automatically. That's the beauty of the managed farms.
Can I
There
just,
we go.
just to make absolutely clear all my faults on the matter, $60 for a haircut. Oh my
Okay,
God.
so hang on. Let me clarify. I'm not doing this like every other day. I might go in and get a haircut maybe 3 times a year maximum. Like I go from, all right, I would like all of this cut back to a manageable degree, and then I will let it get to like Shaggy from the original cartoons kind of length, and shagginess as well.
I mean that raises a really good question. So Orbital, before you continue your rant,
$60.
one,
though.
how much do you pay for a haircut? And one, I understand that does not include a tip. Welcome to cultures, but how much do you pay, and how often do you get haircuts?
How much do you think I pay, and how often do you think I frequent?
Well, I've seen you on
All right,
stream,
sure.
so I'm
Wait-
pretty sure
Way
they
to
pay
just
you.
Uno reverse card that back at me. I think you pay probably $15 for a haircut, or £15 for a haircut, or 15 Scottish yen for a haircut. I don't care what the hell you use.
Scottish yen.
And I think you get a haircut 6 times a year. Once every 2 months.
I agree with these assessments, by the way. I think he's bang on.
I
Yeah,
think you're
sounds
actually
about
pretty
right.
close. Yeah, except
Sounds
it's not
about right.
15, not 15 pounds, 10 pounds for a haircut.
All right.
15. I mean 15. You know, the hairdresser said to me today £11.50, and I just about had a heart attack. Honestly, I haggled her down to 10 though, so it was all right. It worked out in the end.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say £11.50,
50, not
which
just
which
11.
that whole measurement just makes close to 0 cents to me, but I'm not gonna say a word about it. £11.50 is $15. So I think I deserve a medal or something, because
Yeah,
that
but
is
I didn't pay £11.50. That's
okay.
the thing.
Well, then frig you,
And
Orbital.
if you get it every other
so
month, that's 6 times a year. So,
So
you
that's
could artificially double the price, and
that is
you know, if
that
you
is $13 that you pay 6 times a year. So you're paying $78 on haircuts per year. if Rhapsody were to get one $60 haircut a year, then he's still making it out ahead of you. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like that's to be expected, to be honest. I mean, when I originally brought up this topic of conversation, this is kind of almost exactly how I predicted it would go.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, like, from the very start, it's like, okay, who's going to be the most expensive hair enthusiast?
Did you think it was going to be Rhapsody?
I did indeed think it was going to be Rhapsody.
Wow.
The thing is, I don't know why you thought that, because I think it's actually atypical of me to have to be spending much money on a hairdresser, like, and to enjoy the social experience of it as well.
I think it is pretty atypical of you, but to be honest, I did think of all of us, you would probably be the most conscious about what constituted a good haircut. Quite frankly, because I mean, every time I go to the hairdresser,
Rude.
I'm like, okay, just cut it. I mean, then it's just like,
Yeah, I am
Get it off
definitely
me.
I am
Get it
a
off me.
just cut it and let me leave kind of person.
Exactly.
Like you can do basically anything. If it's bad, whatever. Just don't talk to me that much. Please don't ask me what my job is.
Kinda, yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please
Totally.
stop. Like, I don't know. I caved and I talked about it the last time I went, and it's always like, oh man, I was thinking of being on YouTube, or my nephew does that, you know, like, and or whenever I would bring it up at like family things, it's like, oh, you should collab with your cousin,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's just
I've,
like I don't want to talk about it.
I have a couple of cousins coming of age, and I know one of them's a gamer, and I'm like, please, don't start a channel. Don't.
What's
we can't have
Yeah,
this
it's
conversation.
yeah, it's like I mean, it's like it's just it's a tough situation. It's a tough
You
situation.
know what? That raises an interesting question that I'm gonna butt in before we lose this conversation and go. Orbital continues a rant on hairdressers.
Yep.
$60 though?
Have you
Not
Oh.
commonly.
have you ever done a collaboration with someone you knew personally that is not a significant other?
In like 2012, 2013, yeah.
So a long time ago, kind of thing.
Yeah.
No.
2012, 2013.
You never have reps?
Never. The thing is, like, my friends and family didn't really know that this was a thing I was doing until it became my job, and it was impossible not to tell them.
Yeah.
Same.
They'll be concerned for you if you don't tell them you are indeed receiving money somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So, not really. And I kind of keep my lives like very, very separate when possible. The only real overlap is the interactions that I have with my my partner's stuff.
Yeah.
How about yourself? Wait, no, you started yours out with a friend, right?
I mean, yeah. So I suppose I did technically start, but that was not this YouTube channel. That was Party Block Anthem, which we don't talk about, which is not under my email. But don't laugh at the greatest
I'm not
Minecraft
laughing. I'm
YouTube
appreciating.
channel. Yeah, okay.
This is
but no,
math.
I absolutely have done content with other people. In fact, and this is one that like everybody's now going to go search it after the video, and it literally just came up the other day, which is why I bring it up. I have played Rocket League with my dad on my channel.
Hey, rad.
And it's some of the best content in my life.
Okay, I two things that immediately come to mind is, number one, is your dad a good gamer? Is your dad like gamer enthusiast? Is your dad a gamer?
So my dad, I'm not sure I would call my dad a gamer, but like my dad is the reason that I like games, because he was there was a game, Cosmos Cosmic Adventure. You've likely never heard of it.
Never.
It's an old floppy disk game. But also the original, and I mean like it's not even it's a platformer Duke Nukem game. Cosmo makes an appearance in one of those as well, so it's at least a name that you know. But my dad was that kind of gamer. He had the original game systems, the Atari, the things like that. So he was definitely always into games, but he's not necessarily a gamer today. He does have Slay the Spire on his laptop and has put 40 hours into Slay the Spire.
Rad.
Yeah. And he used to, like, obviously, like, growing up, like, I had the Nintendo Wii kind of thing, so, like, he would play Mario Kart with my sister and I and things like that. But it's not like he's a big time gamer today. It's just I happened to be playing Rocket League the one day, and he came in. He was like, "That looks fun," and I was like, "You want me to teach you?" He was like, "I would love for you to teach me." So I taught him how to play Rocket League. He was terrible at it. I mean, it got to the point like he could score goals. So he wasn't so terrible that like
It's
it was
easy
a
to be
drag
terrible at
to
Rocket
play.
League.
Well, yeah, a little bit, yeah. But like I'm actually pretty good at Rocket League, so I was able to just carry him every time we played. But it was fun, and it was right when I had restarted doing YouTube after like a long hiatus. And I was like, you know what, Dad? Want to play some Rocket League for the channel? And he was like, it would be an honor. So we played some Rocket League.
That
It was
is
fun.
an incredibly wholesome story. But the second question that I have is your commentary is very much banter based.
Oh yeah, he just bantered with me.
Yeah, how'd that go? Is he?
It went surprisingly well, honestly. But I guaranteed you, if I texted my dad right now and was like, "Hey, I'll buy you Rocket League on Steam," because we were just playing like local co-op on my PS4. If I was like, "Hey, I'll buy you Rocket League on Steam. Go out, buy a controller. I'll reimburse you, and let's make more Rocket League with Dad," I would get a response that was, "Here's when I'm available this weekend." And
So
he would happily do it, and it would fit perfectly with how I do my channel.
how about you buy Minecraft and we have a Wholesome Boys feat Alexa's dad episode?
Wholesome Boys with Dad, yeah,
I can get my dad in here too.
dude.
Guaranteed.
Dad
He
episode.
plays League of Legends every day.
That's fantastic.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he plays League of Legends every day. He plays Pokemon Go. He got me into games because I would watch him play Diablo.
Is
That's
he better than you
amazing.
at League of Legends?
Hell no. We also we raided together in World of Warcraft.
That's
Oh,
super
that is-
cool.
Dude, this is like the most wholesome episode of the Wholesome Boys.
When is American Father's Day? Because in Australia it's in September.
June.
My birthday and Father's Day are right at the same time, so we have a combined day where we just like hang. It's my birthday, Father Day. At the
That's
same time.
fantastic.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Orbital? You're the only one that hasn't answered this.
What was the question? I can't even.
Have you
Was
ever
there-
done
what?
content with somebody
Oh, yeah.
that you know personally that is not a significant?
No, I haven't. I did have a discussion with one of my younger cousins at the Christmas dinner table.
Very sorry.
Oh god. Oh no. It was so bad. So my mother had clearly told like her sister that that I do YouTubes or something, and so she had clearly like told
Sorry,
her
I'm already
entire
there.
family, right? So both of her kids and her husband, and independently, right? The two kids and the husband all asked me about it. And it was
Yeah.
just the most awful experience. And so by the time the husband asked me about it, I was just like, I've explained this twice today. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. And he was like, okay, fine, I won't. But I think he thought I was pretty weird, but that's okay. That's fine.
And then you told him that your washing
That was
machine
horrible.
flooded.
It was horrible. Yeah, pretty much.
That is something that
Quickly
gets weird
honest.
because it can appear like weirdly arrogant or conceited to not want to talk about it, but the
Yeah.
conversations are always, oh yeah. My son plays Minecraft every once in a while. Yeah.
See,
yeah.
that's the one with the hairdresser. The hairdresser is she's more of a
I got it, Orbital.
family friend than it is
nice.
someone, because like when we went to high school together, but she was a year older than me, so she was closer. Oh, she was kind of in the middle of my sister and I, because my sister and I are 3 years apart. So she knew my sister more than she knew me. But so my sister would go and like they would do just talk about all of life thing. Well, my sister told her that I do YouTube and then gave her like all the links to my channel. And I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But two, so then like every time I see her, she's like, you still doing that YouTube thing? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you know, me and my boyfriend, we sometimes go on that Twitch and we'll watch Fortnite people. Do you play Fortnite? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
have
yeah,
though.
But also
I've seen
no.
you
Yeah,
play
I'm
Fortnite on
I'm literally
stream.
streaming
Outed.
Fortnite tonight, which is even worse for this conversation.
Outed.
The one I always got was, oh, so you're like PewDiePie, and I'm like, I am not like PewDiePie. There are a lot of degrees of separation there, friend. And you know, you can't sit down and go, okay, so there's short form content and long form content, there's edited content and there's non-edited content, there's informational and entertaining content, and you know, like it
And I'm none of them.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm outside. I make nothing. I make
My
garbage.
content blows.
Exactly.
I'm just like I am too niche to possibly describe why anyone would watch my channel. And honestly, I'm not, even if I could describe why, I couldn't describe why they actually do.
I've stumbled across the only way that I feel comfortable doing it. So I've tried content creator, YouTuber, streamer. I've tried all of those because, you know, anytime you introduce yourself, someone's going to ask what your job is. And none of them fit. And none of them really worked in the way that I wanted or implied the things about my channel that I necessarily want people to know. And so I've gone with, I have a YouTube channel that showcases indie games.
Yep,
and
that's what I do.
exactly, that gets a much better response and actually starts a better conversation, because then we usually have conversations about independent art rather than conversations about, okay, so how, on a scale of PewDiePie to Jacksepticeye to Markiplier, where do you sit?
Who are you talking to that when you say indie game, they know what the hell you're talking about?
They probably just know what the word indie
get,
is.
Yeah, they
I
know what
say-
indie
together.
means.
I
So
say, oh, I do indie games, and they go, oh, are you talking like Call of Duty? And I'm like, no.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
You got it.
yes.
Finally, somebody
I
knows
am-
what an indie game is.
I'm a Call of Duty streamer. Yes, thank you.
oftentimes the people that I'm talking to are familiar with like independent film or independent art or like more indie forms of comedy or alt comedy and things like that. And so they have like a basis of knowledge about like indie scenes, quote unquote indie scenes. Obviously there's nuance, but it does mean we get to have a good conversation rather than, you know, so are you playing Fortnite?
I once had to like explain in a semi-professional capacity like what this was, and the person that I was trying to explain it to, I mean, was kind of that age where, you know, when everyone was younger, they all wanted to be like radio DJs, disc jockeys, you know, so somebody from like that generation. And so, you know, when I was like, oh, I don't really want to say, it's kind of, you know, whatever. And there's like, why not? And then I basically said, well, it's kind of like how when you were a kid, you wanted to be a DJ. But then imagine if you grew up and had to explain that you were actually a DJ to like just a random stranger. And it would just be like weird, right? And surprisingly, that worked as a fairly like accurate analogy as to sort of transition the conversation into what YouTube actually was and like what it ended up, what it was, you know?
So when are you rebranding your channel to DJ Tato?
DJ Tato,
Ooh.
disc jockey. I'm, you know, I'm the
DJ
whole.
Oppo.
I'm waiting for that hot fire track. I'm waiting for that drop. Is that what they say these days?
Mixtape, dude.
Oh,
I do actually have, before we end the episode, I have one story that relates to that, because I have also had to explain what I do in a professional manner, because due to the fact that income is gained from this, I had to put it on a resume for my current job that I have. And when I was in the interview process, the woman that was interviewing me straight up said, we basically brought you in here solely because we want to ask you about this on your resume. Like, what is this? So
You're
I
not
like
getting
had,
the job, but
so
we're
so
here
I
just-
so I like had to explain it.
we
And
brought you in because my nephew needs to collab.
Exactly. But no, she was like, she asked me, she was like, you know, what is it? Like, is this something that interferes with your work life here? And I was like, no. And she goes, and if we were to look for this, where would you find it? Where would we find it? And I was just like, I mean, you literally just have to search my last name on YouTube. And she was like, okay, we're on it. So she immediately like had someone that
Oh,
was
no.
on the call search
Oh,
my
geez.
YouTube. Okay.
No.
Yeah, it
Jeez.
only goes downhill from here, trust me. So then
I
a
hate
second
that.
later, she goes, okay, I think we found it, but the video we found is of a kid yelling racial slurs at his dad. Is that you? And I was like, no, that is not me. And she was
Oh,
like, oh, we spelled
jeez.
your last name wrong. And I was like,
Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus.
It was a
Oh
mess.
my.
But I got the
God.
job, so, you know.
Are you sure that was not the Rocket League video?
Yeah, right.
He was just playing because he was playing bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, so little bit of a mess. But
Well,
Okay. Anyone else
got out
have
of that
anything
one.
before
Well
I
done.
tell us that it's time to stop having fun and go?
Not at all.
Anyone else got anything? All right.
no more fun here.
All right. Thank you for watching. Go, have anybody that wants to collab with us and your family? Tell us in the comments down below. Tell us who they are, and tell them to send in their resumes.
And
Thank you for
hide your
watching.
dads for Minecraft in June.
Hide your dads for Minecraft in June. Thank you for watching. Links for everything that matters and more in the description. See you next time.
See you then.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.